wouldn't have had the scientific journal and revolution that happened without the printing press. And there was a lot of change. You know, we thought that the printing press would bring world peace. Instead, we got the 95 Thesis in Europe lit on fire, and we had the French Revolution and the U.S. Revolution and all types of changes in society. But looking back on it, we're a pro-Copernicus society. We're a pro-Isaac Newton society. We're a pro-Goethe society. Hopefully we will adopt the similar views towards technology and be a pro-Bitcoin society and a pro-internet society and a pro-freedom of speech society and a pro-cryptography society. And because Bitcoin has the potential to change every aspect of society and cryptography and the internet and these technologies I've talked about. So with that, I think I'm done. Thanks.
When did you make your first Bitcoin investment, Trace? What day was that?
I was publicly talking about and recommending Bitcoin in early January of 2011.
And
I don't
Bitcoin
really.
What was the?
Oh, it was,
how much was it?
Like 5 cents, 25 cents, something like that.
Yeah.
I actually gave a friend of mine. He's a PhD in finance. Worked for Arthur Burns with the U.S. Fed. Professor of finance at Columbia. Gave him and another friend of mine who runs a hedge fund, Harvard MBA. Gave them both the opportunity to buy $25,000 worth of Bitcoin at the time, which would be about 300 million today.
And he politely said, "Thank you."
Yeah, and I let them know every time I see them. But you know, we're talking about a wealth transfer, the likes of which the world has never seen.
No, but I mean, it's nothing. It's really nothing. Bitcoin is nothing. All the Bitcoins together are?
Oh, like
5 billion.
6 billion, 5 billion.
It's nothing. Okay, I mean, Mark van der Gijs, where is he? He's there in the back. He started a little internet site, you know, 2DAO video site. He's going to be later, and that site is that little video site is worth 5 billion. So the interesting thing about Bitcoin is not the 5 billion. It's nice for the individuals. But I have a question. It's more how it will continue, if it will rise, and if it really will change things. Now, I also see your that you come from, you know, that government is stealing because of inflation, and it's taxation without representation. That corner, you know that. But on the other hand, you see that there's a lot of interest of society. I had with the internet in 1994. We had hackers, and we had all kinds of people who basically said, you know, companies are the worst kind of organizations. And governments and companies are really bad. But now the internet is everywhere. Everybody is using it. And it didn't really fundamentally change everybody, the world. It made it more flexible and that kind of stuff. Will Bitcoin also be adapted about the society as a whole and by the national banks and the normal banks? Or will it really fundamentally change? Do you still have that belief?
I failed to read one of the quotes that just came from the FBI. May 4th, 2014, they said, "There are significant challenges posed to the FBI in the accomplishment of our diverse mission. These include those that result from the advent of rapidly changing technology. A growing gap exists between the statutory authority of law enforcement to intercept electronic communications pursuant to court order and our practical ability to intercept those communications. The FBI believes that if this gap continues to grow, there is a very real risk of the government going dark, resulting in an increased risk to national security and public safety."
Yeah. Well, in 1999, they said the same thing about you know, all the intelligence series, and they've caught up. They are now pretty good at with their skills. Yeah. Listening off.
Well, and that's one of the interesting things with cryptography and the laws of mathematics and the science being out there for everybody to review. You know, it's not necessarily advocating whether one is in favor of that or not in favor of that, but it's accepting the realization that the sun is the center of the universe, that the earth revolves around it. We have laws of mathematics. And if they lose the practical ability to even enforce a wiretap, for example, that changes
Yeah.
the way that
They only
society.
spend 13 cents per person, and then if it would become more expensive, they wouldn't do it.
Well, yeah, but if we use like 4096-bit encryption and it's just now impossible for them, or statistically impossible, then that changes the way that we as a society are going to be organizing ourselves. And all of this is very disruptive. Now, whether personally, I think that it's, in a lot of cases, it's good. You know, we have bad people in society that need to get caught by law enforcement. We can't just let people be running rampant doing horrible things. But when we had the Industrial Revolution, the tools multiplied the power of our muscles. But in the information age, these tools are multiplying the power of our minds. And I think that there's even much more that can be brought out from our minds because of that. And it's just going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.